put up a bit of a fight because I don't think I have a grand message to the world. So you kinda see how sausage is made and then you sell the sausage, right?
I think it influenced your path a lot. I mean, you should always have some space for their own entertainment, but still keep them safe.
To rely on motivation as your fuel, you're gonna run out of steam pretty fast.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Evoplay Podcast. My guest today is Martin Leet, the head of casino at Merkur Bets, and we're going to explore his journey, his experience. We will dive in more deep into the German markets, and of course we'll cover how the maturity of the markets shapes the requirements to the game providers. Martin, pleased to meet you. How are you?
I'm good. Happy to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. I put up a bit of a fight because I don't think I have a grand message to the world, but I'm always, open to something cool. We have done cool things in the past.
That's quite frank. All right. So you've been working for the industry since 2011. I know you work both for product part and maybe operations, a little bit more with business development, stuff like that. So how did your journey actually start? What key roles shaped your path?
So the journey started in a way that the biggest land-based operator in the region, I'm from Estonia, Olympic Entertainment Group, had bought already a few years beforehand a downloadable playtech casino product, and it sat on the shelf. They didn't know what to do with it, and then they had a decision to make whether they take some older land-based casino guys and teach them online, or they take a bunch of young hip kids from the street and teach these guys casino. They did the latter. Hence, me and a few other people were hired, and we started working on what we have. Pretty soon, we realized that the downloadable casino client is a pretty hard sell. You had to install it literally on your computer. So we started to make our first real modern online gambling website. Beforehand, obviously, we were tied into a playtech contract, which you can imagine needed a bit of effort and lots of money to get actually out of. But we did, and then we built our own, honestly, pretty good, even by today's standard, if I think back, online casino product on iForium, I think. I think we were iForium's first bigger client.
All right. Well, I can imagine how tough it was. But anyway, yeah, what do you think, what key decisions influenced or matter most in building your own career path?
I think anyone who wants like long-term career in iGaming really should get the experience from both sides of the table, from the slot studio side and obviously the operator, the casino side. So you kinda see how sausage is made and then you sell the sausage, right? But for my own career, I think most important actually was to do a little side quest to actually make the sausage, if we continue on the culinary terms. So I went for nearly 4 years into literally software development. I ran a little team, I did software development sales, but more importantly, I managed software development projects. I was a scrum master, project manager, I did some analysis, etc. I wasn't great at any of these things, but I was okay. And now coming back to working right now for an operator, I now have the skills to actually deal with software development projects way better, and developers, because they're also quite delicate people often, but you need them. You need them so much. Hence, I think the smartest thing was to get both sides and plus the actual construction of whatever you do in iGaming.
Well, first of all, thank you for sharing. I think it will be more important for the newcomers to our industry.
Yeah.
And of course, I think it influenced your path a lot. Like having this making you a kind of helicopter view, if I can say, knowing how
Sure.
each process works and so on. Cool. So let's dive in more deep into Germany. What's going on in the market? How it has evolved since the Interstate Treaty was launched? How is it going?
So, there's been a lot of criticism about the German legislator, and I'm not gonna do that here because everyone has said what they have to say. I think they are smart people. They are and they are talking to operators. They are talking to game providers, both on more official, open forums and also more privately. The decisions to improve the legislation and market obviously are a little bit maybe stuck in some political, bureaucratic levels. I don't know. But I believe they get it done because they have done good work before, obviously kind of pioneers in the SW state. So I think good things are coming in Germany. I think it is, and it's gonna be still very player protective, but also players will be able to have a bit more fun.
But I mean, most probably it's across the whole Europe, like the same issue with this.
Yeah, it's the same story. Yeah, some do it better than others, but it's very important to protect players, but you still got to let them have a bit of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important, and I think we will find some nice middle of the ground road there.
I totally agree. I mean, you should always have some space for their own entertainment, but still keep them safe.
Yeah, no, I don't believe in unregulated markets in that sense. I think regulation is needed. It's good, and the German legislation will catch up pretty soon to what I think should be there.
Do you think, like in general, do you think that regulators from the EU market should speak to the operators more, collect their feedback?
Sure, but listen, they are. They are. Just I think the normal bureaucratic processes. It takes a while for things to kind of get through and realized. That's just kind of built into these kind of systems. So I think they are filled with smart people who know the right thing, but it just takes time to hammer out the laws, get them passed, put them out on the street, so to say.
But do you expect anything?
Because me and you, we're very used to how you do things in private business. You kind of decide, you set the vision to your team, and it gets done. Sometimes in a day, sometimes in a week, sometimes in a month. It works a bit differently in the legislative.
Yeah, I can imagine. Especially when it comes to Eastern Europe with these monopolies and state-owned companies. Well, I totally understand. But still, you have players, you have their preferences, and they basically they watch streamers, they do read news and so on. So, I mean, you should be always up to date. All right. So, do you expect any innovation to come to the EU market in the following year or years? Or
let me answer you in a bit different way. What I don't think the innovation should be is this approach of polymarket, where you turn all your life into gambling. I don't think you should be able to necessarily place a bet. Will the war start tomorrow, or are people getting blown up tomorrow? I think this is the wrong approach to take. Also, I'm not a big believer in because back early in the 90s you had in many countries literally slots in groceries, but we evolved, we took them away. Now what some more tech pro people are doing, they want to even prime kids to gambling via Roblox developments and whatnot. I think this is, or like you have the super apps Robinhood, which they want to hold now all your funds and at the same time become a casino. So I think these innovations are something EU should actually be against. I think casinos should stay casinos. And we always use the word seamless, like let's say you want your payments to be seamless. We do, but in the tech buzzword sense. You really should see that you do take your money to gamble from your wallet, real wallet, and you put it in a casino. I think you should always be very clearly separating these two things. So that's my answer to the innovation question.
That's an amazing answer. I mean, that was probably a really good question, because it is really important nowadays to keep an eye on what's going on with the kids, especially when it comes to micro purchases and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
if we are letting the tech guys kind of run amok in that sense, and I think the kind of old school gambling companies deserve a little bit more respect, in the sense that we don't push for this kind of absurd gamification of everything at all. Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I mean, these purchases in the apps, in the games, and so on, they are making so many troubles to the regulated iGaming, and all these weird laws and bills and stuff like that. They're coming exactly from this unresolved and great part of something unexpected. Okay, cool. So before we move forward to the interactive part, one more personal question. What motivates you during your workday? Like maybe there is something you have like on day-to-day routine or something else?
To rely on motivation as your fuel, you're gonna run out of steam pretty fast. If you're looking for some great inspirations and motivations, if you're a national athlete maybe, but if you're a corporate guy, you really need to find motivation in first of yourself, your self-development, people around you, to be just a little bit better coworker, better partner, better to your pets and neighbors, better at your job a little bit. Like for example, this week, my main motivation or inspiration comes from I'm showing our new casino executive. It's his first ice. So I'm motivated giving him the best ice experience, the first best ice experience he has had. So that's my motivation now. You have to have this kind of Kaizen approach. You want to improve a little bit every day, because if in your office job you keep hoping for some great motivations to appear, you're gonna run out. You're gonna run out of steam. You need to use a very commonly available source of fuel for your fire. That's the way to succeed in long term.
Amazing answer. Thank you. So it's always great to hear what really drives people. But now it's time for a short, rapid questions. I kindly ask not to overthink and give me a quick response. So the first question is, what's the first game you ever played on a computer?
The first game on a computer-like device was Pong.
Pong. What's that?
Pong. Oh, you're a young man.
Yeah.
You have a black screen. You have two remote-like things, and you have that ball going against one or the other.
Shame on me.
But I want to say that the game that most not influenced me, but I felt strongest playing emotions and finishing it was the Mass Effect trilogy. I'm a huge science fiction nerd, and Mass Effect trilogy was a strong part of my life.
Yeah, well, Mass Effect is really good. So what's your best way to recharge?
My friends have called me extroverted introvert. So I can do social, and I enjoy it, but it takes a lot out of my batteries. So to recharge, I need to be alone. Not alone. I need to be at home without nobody there, my girlfriend, my cats, and that's it. nice, quietly relaxing. That's obviously I do exercise, but I feel exercise doesn't recharge me. It takes even more out of me. But I need my quiet time.
All right, we can take it. What's one habit help you to succeed in your work and life?
I read a book when I was young. I don't remember the name, but it really taught me to have empathy and see why somebody said or did what they did, because everyone, we are kind of stuck in our heads with our insecurities, and often what we say, which is very important in a work environment where people are not speaking their native language. Very often we say something since our language capabilities not to the max, which is being interpreted by another guy who also doesn't speak maybe that English, whatever, so well that is misunderstood. So you kind of need to try to think, were they weird, were they rude, or were they just not great at communicating? And if they were hurtful, then why did they do so? Probably they just didn't have the facts and were scared in a way. That's how I feel.
All right. What's the number of pull-ups you can do in one go?
If you don't need perfect form, I think I can rip out 15. I'm pretty good at that.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're an athlete.
I am relatively healthy in my body. Let's put it like that.
Okay. And the next one, what's a book or podcast or recording recently inspired you?
Recently, everything just scares me. But I will answer that question in another way. Every year I watch the greatest movie trilogy ever made, obviously Lord of the Rings. And every year it inspires and makes me think about what's my hero's journey. And I think this is an important question that you should ask. And again, not hero in the sense that we need to take the one ring to Mount Doom. You need to find your daily heroism, so to say, or your weekly heroism, or your little heroics with coworkers and partners, etc.
Yeah, I totally agree, because it's really important to fight the skeletons, not.
And you should watch Lord of the Rings extended editions only.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. If not iGaming, then what would you do?
It would be another profession which doesn't have that good reputation, but I would be a very good and honest. I think I would be very good in real estate.
Real estate?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any passion for it, or is it just
I just always felt that I would be good at it. Explaining and showing you why this place is good for you, or maybe this place isn't good for you.
Okay.
I have an eye for detail. Even more so in physical space than maybe in interpersonal relationships.
What's something people would be inspired to know about you?
Inspired, again, that's a very strong word. I tell you what, something that's maybe a bit unique about me. Me and my girlfriend, we bought a little summer house in Sicily. So for the last 2 years, we have made our own wine and made our own olive oil. So whoever asks me nicely might get a bottle of genuine Italian wine and or oil, but only if you ask very nicely.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty nice to have such connection. Yeah. Thank you, Martin. It was frank. It was true. So thank you for your time. It was a great pleasure meeting you, and I hope to see you again soon.
Next year, next podcast.
Yeah. Kind of.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.